todos.
Bonjour,
Gracias por
bonjour.
conectarse con nosotros. Hi, good morning and good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining us today at Zavvy.co with hostess with the mostest. And today, as I've been announcing for the last week and even earlier today, we're having a special guest today and we're going to be talking about whiskey. But hey, not any whiskey, and you will soon find out how special this whiskey is. And but before we dive in into our presentation today, just some house um, descriptions or so just to show you around. If this is the first time connecting to savvy.co, you will find on the platform on the bottom, you'll see that there's a section that says chat and ask question. So on your ask question, you can click there and type up the question or questions that you might have during our presentation. You can also click on the chat, and on your right hand side of the platform, you'll see a column and you'll be able to make comments or say hi to everyone and so forth. Okay. So that is the way that it works. I'm going to go ahead and so I can see everyone here. So just engage with us, ask your questions, and today, what I've not done in other lives is I'm gonna be building a cocktail during the live, and that's gonna be a treat. And I hope that you enjoy it. So, no further ado, let's introduce Thomas Barclay, right?
Yeah,
Am I
correct.
pronouncing it correctly? Um,
Correctly.
we have him. He is in France right now, on the south of Paris, right? South of Paris, France. And so it is 8 o'clock over there right now.
Yeah,
8 o'clock at
exactly.
night.
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Yes. So I would like to welcome Thomas. He's the co-founder of Ruby's Blanc, the pure malt whiskey that we're going to be talking and presenting you today. Welcome, Thomas. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for
How
having me.
are you?
I'm fine. I'm perfect. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So we're gonna let you introduce yourself to our viewers. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you started in the alcoholic beverage industry.
Yeah, so how I started was like 10 years ago. Before that, I was working in advertising. I was a copywriter in an advertising agency. And I was also a big fan of hip hop. And actually, I would see a lot of brands that was working with some hip hop artists, and those brands were not available in France. Although some of those spirits was actually made in France. If you're talking about NSC, if you're talking about Ciroc or things like that. So I first opened a liquor store that was called the Paris Liquor Store, and that was at the beginning really specific about all these kind of brands like Ciroc, NSC, Patron, Armand Brignac, Nouveau, and all this kind of alcohol. And then we enlarged the selection to any really rare and specific bottle, like limited edition or unusual cask. So I had 3 shops, and then I closed the shops and I started working on some kind of brand manager for the night development for a champagne brand, like placing the brand into nightclubs. And I still do that job as well for one of the major champagne house in France, and that this is how I met my partner John Maria, who also works for that same brand, and together we had that idea of creating Ruby Blanc. So that's my
The
history.
trajectory.
Yeah.
Now, what motivated you to dive into creating this distill whiskey, this malt whiskey, and the way that is being introduced, is being presented? How that idea came to be?
Um, we had that idea, that envy of creating something. So we were like seeing the whole spirit industry and thinking about what was available, what was interesting, and we didn't want to do another thing that would be similar to something that already exists. And in most cases, you have some brands with a very large history, and that we didn't see any point of creating just another classic spirit.
Mhm.
And so we were thinking about all that and all the possibilities. And actually, the idea of Ruby Blanc came from two different things. First thing was an experience that I had of moonshines, and that was something that I discovered really lately, because very few people in France and in Europe knows about moonshine or white dogs or any alcohol of this type. And and the second thing was because my dad is from West Indies, French West Indies, is from Martinique, so I have a strong culture of rum and white rum, and those two things resulted in the idea of creating a malt spirit and doing the same work that was made for white rum, that can exist separately from dark rum, and the white rum can exist for itself and can be respected as much as dark rum for its specific aspect and profiles that would be a different experience from dark rum. And we wanted to apply that same experience to malt, to create a white and unaged malt spirit
Mhm.
that would be a proper experience that would be different from traditional aged whiskey.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that was the idea, and that's how it came up.
Yeah, having some those memories, those experiences, like you said, exposed to rum. In much cases, it's what we call the agricultural rum, right? That is a distill from sugar cane, so it has its own unique profile to what will be right rum in the Caribbean, like in Puerto Rico or in Santo Domingo, that is from molasses. So you're having those influences like agricultural rum, but then using properties that are commonly used to create a whiskey, but to have those properties close enough, like you said, to moonshine. Um, so it's like an influence of several things at the same time that gave you that vision to say, you know what, let's go for this. We should be able to create something different, because that's what the intention was, like you said, wanted to stand out, do something different than was already being produced out there. And that's why I love so much the alcohol beverage industry. And I don't get married or attached to one single type of spirit. It could be whiskey, gin, rum, vodka, tequila, mezcal, whatever. It's about the creativity. You have a thought, you have something in your mind that go like click all of a sudden. You're like, you know what? How about this? And
Exactly.
then off you go. All you have to have is vision, passion, desire for something to just make it happen. Of course, with the right people, right? People that they know their things, because you don't necessarily have to be a master distiller, an alchemist in order to create something. But if you know someone and you can transmit that vision that you have with that person, they can understand you, you can collaborate and bring together something beautiful. And that's what happened here with Ruby's Blend.
That's really true. That's
Yeah.
that.
Now you had shared previously, before we went live, that you're more involved in the marketing portion of Ruby's Blend. You know, you have the vision, the aesthetic, how to present it, introduce this product to the industry, to the bartenders, so they can be as creative as they can be with it. Um, I was gonna go ahead. Well, let me show it. I've been showing it for a while now. I just love the package, the bottle. It's I mean, it's unique. It's simple, but it gives you the right message of what it's like and what to expect from this spirit. It is beautiful. Um, Now, in the marketing part of it, and I would like to share this with our viewers. They know that, I'm, well, I could be called several things, right? Many are called to bloggers. Some call me I'm an influencer, whatever they want to call me. Um, but the bottom line is that Thomas had approached me, right, through Instagram and said, "Hi, Cynthia, how are you? Let me introduce myself." And we tend to receive a lot of those type of messages through our DMs on Instagram. And some you go like, I don't know, this doesn't sound right, this is fake or whatever. So it's our responsibility to follow up and check and do some research to see who this person is, what the brand is about, and so forth. So obviously I did due diligence on doing that part. um, but once we connected, we just took it off, um, with talking about the industry and the spirit, sharing anecdotes, and I was so excited to have the opportunity when you sent it to me when I was living in Dallas, Texas, just a couple months ago, right during the
Yeah.
pandemic. And I was so excited to receive it and start playing with it. And the first thing that came to my mind when I saw it and I got the opportunity to taste it was, you know what? I'm gonna make a mint julep. And sure enough, I did. I did the mint julep. I took pictures. I posted it on my page, and and I loved it. I just fell in love with it. I've shared before that of all the spirits, whiskey is one of those spirits that I'm still educating my palate through it. I mean, there's so many. And I tend to lean more towards the American whiskey, like the bourbon, rye, and such, especially bourbon, because they have they mirror somehow the sweetness to what is rum for me. And we
Okay.
were talking about that,
Yeah.
how us culturally, our background, what we're used to or what we're exposed to eating, the ingredients, seasonings, or spiciness, or what have you,
And I would
all these
add
sensory. Huh?
even the I think even the temperature, the what's going outside, like the weather and everything, that would influence as well the tasting.
All the sensories are come into play. So I can go ahead and smell and serve it to myself and smell it, because of course you're gonna swirl, you're gonna smell it. You want to have that olfactory, the sensories. And the first thing that comes to you is, at least to me, was some sweetness. Kind of like, wow, am I smelling like agricultural rum here? Like there's some sugar cane in here, something sweet, fruity, and so forth. Those were my first impressions. Maybe has to do with the fact when I looked at it, maybe that affected the way I was going to perceive it. But once I took into my palate, I sipped on it, there was no doubt it was whiskey. Uh, but not your common whiskey, the elements that you will find, the woodiness, the smokiness, being on a barrel, because it's not, it doesn't have those elements, but it does have the pure, simple profile of what initially becomes whiskey, because you do use barley to make this whiskey. But then, like, there was this presentation I did like 2 Sundays ago with charanda, the same thing. I mean, everything that surrounds the main ingredient, the soil, like we said, the environment, the wind, the temperature, all those elements affect the final product, all the ingredients that's gonna have. The same thing happens with rum. The temperature here with in the Caribbean versus exposed to different islands, had different terrains. All that comes into play. So when I'm talking about all this and wanted to share is that always be open to new things, new products. And I love the fact that you guys, you had that vision of wanting to break those barriers, have something different,
Challenge
something
the
to
common
explore.
ideas. We like to challenge the common ideas of how things are supposed to be and how things are supposed to taste. We like to challenge that.
Yes. And that's good, because then we have things like these, like the Ruby's Blanc, that gives us that opportunity. It opens a whole different world for us to explore.
Exactly.
And that is fascinating. And me for one, I say thank you. Now, is there a chance that maybe, because I'll give you an example. There's some, it happens in vodka, it happens in gin, that they go with a version of silver or platinum, and then they go with a version, they say black, because it has a more dark profile to it, and they play with the words, right? But it's still gin or it's still vodka. In this case, being that it's white, it's a whiskey, has a different aspect to it, do you think that there might be a chance, or that it could evolve and having an addition to this original line of Ruby's Blanc in the near future?
Actually, we are already working on some addition, but for now we don't work in aging. We don't work on adding aging on the product. We want to keep that purity and that the product like this. So we are more working on some infusion and mixing with other noble and raw products. And you're going to know more about this really, really soon.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's good to know. I always ask that question just so, have that what to expect, even though that is new. And now, am I under the understanding that currently it's being distributed to some parts of Europe. It's not in the United States or in the Americas being distributed as of yet.
We're gonna start distribution in New York State in September. It
Oh,
was
nice.
supposed to start this summer, but because of the situation, everything has been postponed. So it's actually available now in France. It's just new. We just released it in France like this week. Like we did a partnership with the major alcohol liquor store in Paris. So we just started this week. Really exciting. It's going to be available in Italy as well in September. And we're working on adding a few other countries. Working on Ukraine, Japan, Spain, and hopefully PR.
Yes, right. I'm curious because I am not a bartender. I don't bartend. Even though I'm passionate about it, but I'm more of a home bartender.
Yeah.
That's why the name Hostess with the Mostest, because I love to entertain my guests, friends, and family when they come over. I like to serve them cocktails. I'm good at cooking too. I can cook,
Okay.
but I just developed a love for spirits. And now, and the marketing aspect of it, which is also very interesting when we're talking about branding, plays a major factor on the product. How do you came about finding myself, my profile as a cocktail blogger? Like how was your search? Like because that happened to me when I was living in Dallas, Texas. There was this whiskey that is distilled and bottled in Colorado, in the state of Colorado, and they did a specific search. They wanted to have a good representation of influencers to attend their launching event in Texas, right, in Dallas. So they walked me through how they did that. In your case, being that you're in France and you're trying to navigate through the whole world, because I seen on Instagram on your stories, bottles were everywhere in every corner of the world. They're receiving these bottles, and
Yeah.
these are bartenders, some are influencers. How I came about to be on your spectrum, I'm just curious to know.
What happened is we were about to launch the product, and then the pandemic started, and that all stopped the process. Like we were planning to work on the release, so we were like, okay, how are we gonna use this time? We didn't want to. We didn't know how long it will gonna last, and we didn't want to lose any time. So we thought, okay, the good point, the good side of all this world situation is that we have a lot of creative people that are available. Some of those people are usually really busy because they are bartenders or they are bloggers, but we have a lot of things going on, and some people that are really hard to reach, and we decided to use this time to reach those people. So that was the first thing. And then the second thing is we believe in humans and human relationship, and we want humans to be at the center of this adventure. And because we produced like a raw experience, it's really interesting for us to see how this product is received with different backgrounds. So that's why we are really passionate and curious about seeing people from all around the world getting the products and see how they receive it and how they use it and how they taste it and receiving their feedback. So then we went through all kind of profile, and obviously you have a lot of people blogging about spirit on Instagram. So
yes, there is a lot.
what we did to be really transparent with you is obviously we wanted to have people with a minimum of base of followers, because we want people with that can interact with a minimum of people. But we didn't want we didn't look for the largest communities. That was not the only thing that we were looking for. We wanted people with a strong personality because we wanted to see how those people will interact with the product. So that's somehow how I came up to contact you.
That's interesting. That's amazing.
We wanted to have as well different profiles as well. We want men, we want women, we want people from different culture, different ages. We want all kind of people. That's already interesting, because we crafted the people, we crafted the product so that it can be used by all kind of people. That even the alcohol percentage we chose it to be 40 because because we didn't mention that this alcohol is 40 degrees, and we basically chose this because we wanted something to be strong enough but not too strong, so that no one will say that it's not strong enough, and no one would say, oh, I cannot go with some too strong spirits. So we wanted that average level so that it can be experienced by all kind of people.
Yeah, and also, yeah, exactly, and palettes, and that's why I immediately clicked with it, because I like, well, this is a great way to transition into whiskey and getting and educating your palate, and you can gradually grow from there. And so and also, like, another characteristic that I was sharing with you earlier is that we agreed that not all spirits, like, there's classic cocktails, and sometimes we do some versions of it. Like today's National Daiquiri Day, right? So usually daiquiri is made with rum. That's the original. That's the classic. But you can also make daiquiri with mezcal, with an espadín, and so forth. So today, like I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna do a mint julep, which traditionally is made with bourbon, and I'm gonna do it with your Ruby's Blanc. It's not only gonna look aesthetically beautiful and refreshing, but it's actually so good. And it's important to give opportunities to people when they're drinking at home, options that it's just 2 or 3 ingredients, that is very simple and also easy to access, so they can make it at home and enjoy it. And that's the whole thing, behind the Ruby's Blanc. Make something that people can relate to, right, around the world, and enjoy it with what they have available. So, no further ado, I'm gonna put myself to work and put together this mint julep for all of you.
Let's go.
Let me further this. so people can see, I think, hopefully. Can you see, Thomas, what I have in the counter? No, over here, right? A little bit.
No. Like
Not
I
really.
don't see the top.
Let me go ahead and further it a little bit more.
A bit more. Like I can see half.
Let me hold on.
Yeah,
There.
yeah, better. Much.
Perfect. Now, okay. So let's bring out the fresh mint. Here's the mint. And basically the mint julep is gonna have three ingredients. One is gonna have fresh, the mint as a base, simple syrup. You're gonna muddle those two ingredients, then add the whiskey. Usually it's bourbon. It could be 2 to 3 ounces. It depends how spirit forward you want it. In this case, I am going to use 3 ounces of the Ruby's Black. I like it spirit forward. And then, like I said, the simple syrup, the mint is going to be muddled. And then if you don't have a whistle, which just has like 3 or 4 lays down here, the swizzle, you can use a bar spoon. We're going to put some ice in there, mix it, and then we're going to top it off with more crushed ice. So you'll see. So let's start with the mint. These mints are huge. I mean, look at the size of this mint.
Is that local
Yeah.
mint?
They are big. I like mine pretty minty, but you don't have to use that many here because, like I said, they're big. They're huge. There we go. And we're gonna use, I'm gonna use half an ounce of the simple syrup. If you like it more, then use 1 ounce if you like, or 3/4. Depends how sweet you like it. Now we'll use the bottle. Just gently model it. You don't wanna turn this mint leaves and bring out the bitterness of it. You just want the fresh mint flavor to it. So this is good. And let's use the Ruby's Black. Doing 3 ounces. Now, like I explained earlier, we're gonna add some crushed ice. I have it ready here. And we're just gonna put a little bit at first, just so we can mix it. If you don't have a swizzle, then with your bar spoon.
Would you define that as a summer drink or something that can be enjoyed all year long?
Oh, you can enjoy this all year long, for sure.
Okay.
Of course, definitely. I mean, who's to say that you cannot have a refreshing drink in the winter if that's what you want, right? And I want to point out that I'm building this on a traditional mint julep cup. That's how it's prepared. So it's already mixed. Now we're gonna build it, putting more crushed ice on top of it to make it, that's how you build the mint julep. So it could look like a snow cone. There. like if it's a snow cone. And you'll go ahead and add more mint leaves for garnish. Another thing that is done on a traditional mint julep when you serve it, you just sprinkle a little bit of the powdered white sugar over it, and it looks like snow. So
Okay.
here is the mint julep.
Very nice.
Yes, and it's very refreshing. Now I'm gonna build it on this whiskey rock glass, so you all can see how beautiful it looks when you're preparing it. We're gonna go ahead and do another one. Okay, and let's do our simple syrup. The model, as you can see, I don't know, can you see it from there? Just a simple syrup and the mint leaves. Just muddle it gently. There it is. And usually you would use bourbon, but in this case, we're using Ruby's Blend, which is the pure white malt whiskey. And I'm doing 3 ounces because that's how I like it. I like it spirit forward. And we're gonna add the ice. No.
How different will it taste from the traditional way of doing it?
Yes. So, I mean, it is for sure different because when you're doing it with your bourbon, you're gonna have all the characteristics of your classic whiskey, all the woodiness, the smokiness of it, um, of the barrel. It all those strong, very strong characteristics of whiskey is gonna be on the drink, on the cocktail when you bring it in with the sweetness of it. So it's very strong, spirit forward. But then, and the difference with the Ruby's Blend, it has a different profile. It's crisp. You still have the characteristic, basic characteristic of whiskey because it's made with barley, but the profile itself, you eliminate all the woodiness part of it. It becomes more of a crisp, clear, clean a flavor, so to speak. I mean, it's whiskey, but it's much refreshing.
Okay.
It's not as it doesn't shock onto your palate as your regular whiskey would do, at least in my experience.
Okay.
Um, so we already did it, the mix, right? And now we're gonna build it as we did with the other one. Oh, I think I'm running out of some ice here. Of crushed ice. Do some of this. And some fresh mint, like with the other one. The thing is, so you can have the idea. Now, it's gonna look like it was a mojito without the limes.
Yeah.
So who would say that this is your typical classic mint julep, right? And you can display it on a clear rock glass just to showcase the the clear or transparent of this whiskey, but still enjoy a classic cocktail. Very refreshing, by the way.
Very, very nice.
So here's to you, Thomas and Ruby's Blank. Thank you so much. Here I am enjoying this. Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't go away. We're not going away yet. I'm just gonna taste it. There you go. Very, very good. I did it myself, of course. But as you can see, it's very simple to make. It's effortless. It's something you can make, put together really, really quick. Enjoy it. It is hot here in Puerto Rico. It's the Caribbean, humidity, and I could drink this all day long, just like I would do a mojito.
Mm-hmm.
So let me bring this back up. Bring you all closer to me like we were before. And here it is.
Really nice. Really, really nice.
So
refreshing.
Yeah, this is your classic on a mint julep. It's pretty too because you see how it gets frosted because of the ice. I'll be giving that other cocktail to my mom. She's watching, by the way. So, Mom, this one is for you.
Bonjour. Bonjour à la maman.
Yeah, thank you. So, is there any particular cocktail that you enjoy Ruby's Blank with?
I've got two favorites. Both are quite easy to do because I'm not a mixologist, so that's basically my way of enjoying my own bottle. First one is with ginger ale and orange slice. That makes it perfectly for me. Like when I want something really refreshing, that's really my choice, the ginger ale. And usually I do half, like because I want something strong enough. Like I don't do 1/3 and 2 parts. I do half with ice, and that's perfect to me. And the other one is I don't know if you know that reference. We have a chocolate liquor called Mozart, and it's a white chocolate liquor. So I like to have it with that chocolate liquor and add a few drops of chocolate bitter as well, and still orange slice, and that's really yummy. That's
So,
one.
so you build it with the Ruby's Blank,
Yeah,
white chocolate liqueur,
yeah,
some chocolate bitters,
yeah,
and an orange slice.
yeah. And
So what do you do with the orange slice?
it's like a sponge cake. It's really, really good.
Ooh,
Really yummy. It's like something that you can enjoy.
like a dessert.
And what I like about that is that I respect the because it's called Ruby Blanc, and that's interesting for me to have like a white drink because that's not usual to have a completely white cocktail.
Wow, I'm gonna look into that because I can get white chocolate liqueur, I'm sorry, and do that's wonderful. It comes to my mind like an orange cream popsicle.
Mm-hmm.
The orange sherbet outside and the white cream ice cream in the inside. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah. This one brings back child memories. The second one is
Yes.
a really cool one as well.
Well, I'm gonna try that. And actually, I do have ginger ale here right now, so I that's easy. Like just maybe 2 ounces of the Ruby's blend, some ice, top it off with ginger ale,
Yeah.
and there you go.
That's
Slice of
the
lime
first
maybe,
one, and the second one is the yummy one.
and
So
the yummy one. I am gonna put that one together for sure. I'm gonna get those ingredients during the week
sure, let
and
me
put it
know.
together. Take some photography of that cocktail, and I'll share it. I'm definitely gonna do it. That sounds really, really yummy.
Yeah, please do. Please do and let me know.
Yes, I will. I will definitely let you know. So I don't. Yeah. I mean, usually at the last 15 minutes of our presentation, we always address questions, but apparently there's no questions, at least not on the platform.
Okay.
And I always stress that out because when we're done with a live and I go to Facebook, to the platforms, then you see people that have made comments, they have left questions, and I have to answer them later, which is fine. It doesn't bother me at all.
Okay.
But it doesn't give you the opportunity to engage or participate if you did actually have a question you wanted it answered during the live. That if you're not on the platform, then because we're not going to be able to see it
Hmm.
if they're not on the platform. But we can always address it later.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. So and like you said, there's gonna be something already on the works. Um, so here's my mom. She's already up here, and look.
Is she enjoying the drink?
Oh, here, mom. Here's your mint julep drink. Look what she brought me.
Yeah, that's
There
it.
you go.
That's it.
So
That's
that's a
that's the
white
feeling.
chocolate liqueur.
Yeah.
Thank you, mom. So we're in business. Actually, this hasn't even been open.
Wow.
Ooh. Okay, so I guess I have no excuse. I have it right here. So have the ingredients. We are ready.
Yeah.
So some of the well, the only thing that I do not have is chocolate bitters.
Okay.
I do
But
not have chocolate bitters,
this
but
is
I can find it.
yeah, but you can go with only the chocolate liquor.
Liqueur.
That's optional,
Ooh,
the chocolate bitter, because you already have the chocolate flavor in the liquor. So
nice. Ooh. Well, I'm gonna try it. That's for sure. So here it is. We're in business.
yeah,
Anything like what are you have mentioned to me how you have a very personal goal, and one of your goals is to reach out to the Caribbean because of that's where you're from. You're from Martinique,
yeah,
right? So you have a very personal, close relationship to the Caribbean, and you would like to extend Ruby's Blanc to that region, to that market. And that's where you reach out and invited me to somehow participate in that process. And I'm very eager to venture into this and excited to share this beautiful spirit with the service industry, with the bartenders here in Puerto Rico. Very few, I would say specifically three. I have tried it already. And they were really surprised. They were like, wow, this is incredible. This is something totally different. They've
mm,
never been exposed to something like that. Even a person that is a whiskey drinker was very surprised. Um, Saw some potential in it, and just having it, like we discussed off camera, having it neat or specifically over ice, it doesn't take that much, and that's
Mm.
the beauty of it. You with very minimal ingredients, you can have quite an experience with a spirit. You don't have to build it up to 4 or 5 different ingredients to make an awesome, great cocktail. If you want to go that route, awesome, go for it. But you don't need to.
Yeah.
It's effortless, and so it came together beautifully. I cannot stress it enough. So I'm very, very honored and happy that I was given this opportunity to be exposed to the spirit, to try it, and be able to share with all my viewers, and specifically here in Puerto Rico.
And we are really happy and proud to collaborate with you, and really impatient to see how far that can go, and what all those people that can come up with the projects, because like you said, that we wanted those three possibilities, like a very straight tasting.
Mhm.
If you want to do a simple cocktail, it's possible, it works as well. And if you want to do something more creative, that's a nice space to work with as well. So
Mhm.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what I wanted.
Like I did one a couple weeks ago. I did a smash. It was muddled peach with mint, some simple syrup, lime juice, and rubies blanc. Super delicious, refreshing. It gives the opportunity. You have that whiskey notes there, but like I said, it's clean. It's a clean, crisp whiskey. Um, and then it allows the ingredients that you use, like fresh fruits, to come out and bring the best out of it. So you can really enjoy it.
Mm.
So it's just a totally different experience altogether. So I'm looking forward to some already in the industry to try it and see get their feedback on it. It's exciting to see their expression in their face when they go like, "Ooh, wow, wow, that's wow."
And
It is very fun.
you just use the word experience, and that's a word that is really important to us, because we believe that spirits are some uh, festive thing. It's something that people like to share with other. It's all about sharing with people the spirits. It's and we believe that what's important as well is the story. People like to share a story, and with our products, there is story to tell, because you use and you serve something unusual. So you write with that, you have a story to tell. Why? What is that? And how surprising it is, and why you're using this, and that gives people a story to share with other, and that's what's interesting even more.
It is true. And that's the experiences that I've had that has played a major part on in growing as a brand are those experiences. I enjoy that process. I go to the bars, I sit there, I engage in conversations. Um, I want to interact and know how much or how little do you actually enjoy the industry? What's your vision about distillates and stuff like that? And get a different perspective of things. And every day you learn
Mm.
something from everybody that come up, interact with. So that's the part that I love the most of what I'm doing. Not only trying cocktails, but is that experience, that socializing, that engaging, and sharing stories That's what makes everything worthwhile. And keeps me coming back for more and wanting to uh, bring more information out there to share with everyone.
Mm.
So again, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
creating
Thank
such a
you.
beautiful, beautiful spirit. I wish you the best
Thank
of
you.
everything, best success. And who knows, maybe sometime very soon I'll see you here in Puerto Rico.
Oh, thank you.
Uh,
You will see.
sharing and the spirit of Ruby's Blanc in Puerto Rico. So we just had to remain very optimistic and positive always.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Thomas. Well, thank you everyone for connecting today on our live stream podcast. As usual, like I said, every Sunday, the dates might change soon, maybe. Instead of airing on Sundays live, we might move into doing it during the week. Since there's more people, even though we're dealing with pandemics and such, but more people are engaging and working and being out there and stuff. So give them an opportunity to be able to participate at a time that is more convenient for the majority than on a Sunday. But still in all, thank you so much for connecting today and being with us and sharing this time with us and with Thomas from Ruby's Blank from France. And cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.